Debugging TypeScript code can be a nightmare. Ever seen cryptic error messages pointing to compiled JavaScript? That's where source maps come in. In this video, I'll show you how to enable source maps, making debugging easier and more efficient. Hi, my name is Alex. I'm a senior software engineer with years of experience in JavaScript and Node.js. My goal is to help you become a confident and stress-free developer by increasing your skills and proficiency. Let's get started. Source maps in TypeScript are files that bridge the gap between the compiled JavaScript code and the original TypeScript source code. They enable developers to debug TypeScript code in environments where only the compiled JavaScript is executed, such as web browser or Node.js. I am in Node.js Express project that uses TypeScript. TypeScript files are compiled into JavaScript files using tsc and tsc-watch during development. Let's go ahead and trigger an error. In server.ts file, in get health route, let's throw an error with the message oops. Now let's start the dev server with npm run dev, go to API test.http file and make a request to the health route. As you can see, we got an error stack logged out in the console. However, the top of the error stack shows a compiled.js file instead of the .ts file where we threw the error. For smaller projects, it may not matter much, but if the project is fairly large, mapping the error manually to the corresponding .ts file can be very tricky. Let's go ahead and enable source maps so the error stack shows TypeScript files instead of the JavaScript ones. In tsconfig.json file, let's add source map true to the compiler options. Now let's go to package.json file and add enable source maps flag to the dev script when running Node. And that's it. Let's restart the dev server. Now, if we make a request to get health endpoint again, we get an error stack with a server.ts file instead of server.js file. We can click on that file and see exactly where the error occurred, or if to be exact, where we threw it. If we look in the dist folder, we can see that besides the JS files, there are also JS map files. These files enable mapping from compiled.js files to the corresponding TypeScript files. So for each JS file, we also have a js.map file. One can argue that when running the app in production, those files blow the source code. However, errors do happen in production and the ability to effectively trace and fix them is important. So the larger code base has to be the necessary evil, so to speak. But if you would like to turn off source map when deploying to production, it's not really possible to override the source map option in a tsconfig file. Instead, you can use a more flexible approach by using source map flag with a tsc command. Let me show you how to do that. But before I do it, if you are learning something new, please click the like button and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. In tsconfig.json file, we will remove source map true from the compiler options. In package.json file, we will add source map flag after tsc-watch command in the dev script. Let's stop the dev server and remove dist folder with rm-rf dist command. Now let's start the dev server again and make a call to get health endpoint. As you can see, the result is the same. The error stack references the TypeScript file instead of the JavaScript one. If we would like to have the benefit of source maps in production, we can add a source map flag to the build command and enable source maps flag to the start command. But if we decide that we want to have a smaller code base in production and forgo the map files, we can just remove these flags. I think this approach is more flexible than using source map option in the tsconfig.json file. And there you have it. Turning on source maps in TypeScript projects is real simple, but may save you a ton of time down the road. If you would like to know how we ended up using tsc-watch instead of tsnode and nodeman, please watch the video about TypeScript aliases next.